Hey everybody, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program RP-0. We are picking up with our Asteroid Rendezvous mission, almost where we left off in some nicely sped up footage. This is a 15 or so meter per second correction, just to bring our current periapsis up to the 1.595 megameter, million meter target orbit of our targeted asteroid. We'll be pumping a little fuel from Artemis herself uh, into our B upper stage just so we can maximize those thrusters to greatest effect and, I don't know, keep everything functioning smoothly. Alright, and then we're going to plot a node down here since the top of our orbit is basically equal to reduce our orbital period so that we can get a nice encounter with our friendly asteroid. We'll be using Maneuver Node Editor to try to dial it in as much as we can, although I have this feeling that it having a node is messing with us. So we will switch over to our rocky friend and its attached vessel and kill the Maneuver Node and then switch back very quickly to Artemis to see if that doesn't go about affecting the landscape, and sure enough, it does. So we will replot our maneuver, and it turns out it was actually in our favor because it's a bit less, and we can actually get ourselves relatively close within a couple of hundred meters uh, by lowering our orbital period, but we are going to be interrupted. So I will set this alarm, and then we have to jump out here to the Saccharos 1, who had a maneuver node coming up somewhat soon, although it's before this one. We're going to get rid of that node, and we're going to plot a different one out here at our apoapsis in hopes that we can get an encounter somewhere right around our orbital periapsis that makes things a little less wonky. We'll come in pretty close to that anyway. It's still a bit more tangential than I would like, or that has been recommended to me. Thanks, Gaspachin. Much appreciated. But with this encounter, as long as it's being taken into account, is almost the same period. Just a slightly lower periapsis and a higher apoapsis, but not by much, which means I think we can burn to retro. Unfortunately, KSP will not let me actually plot the node to figure out how much delta V we're looking at, so I guess we'll just have to be surprised by that number whenever it is that we actually show up. So we will set the alarm, and then that is in 7 days. So in the meantime, we can jump back to Artemis and take care of business as usual down here for our asteroid mission, thankfully. And now that we'll be coming down across our periapsis, I would like to save the 2 ignitions, or the 3 ignitions that we have. No, I think it's 2. I think we have 2 ignitions left. I would like to save them. So we're going to make a 160 meter per second correction entirely on RCS. Yeah. It was exactly as much fun to do as it is to watch. A lot of pumping fuel around. We'll go ahead and bounce it into 4 times time acceleration, because why the hell not? Also, while trying to keep our fuel load balanced, a whole lot of just hanging out on the H key. Me and my co-pilot, I've sped up a whole lot of this video because I was babysitting at the time of filming, and well, she was a little restless at times, a little talky, a whole lot of fun to be around. Well, you know, bring him to KSP early. That's the key. Building positive minds, or something like that. Anyway, I was way, I guess, overly optimistic is the term I'd like to use for thinking that only 15 minutes out would give me enough time to do this correction any kind of justice on RCS alone. I was very, very sadly mistaken. Yeah, we have just passed our actual maneuver node, and we've made 1/3 of our rated correction. So there was a whole lot more just to put it in time warp and hold the H key and just really get as much of it down as we can. If we can get our period somewhere closer, that means that our our next pass correction will be a little bit less, but we will have to replot that just to see how it shakes out. I would like to go 15 minutes after the node because I started 15 minutes before the node, and I'd like to kind of balance out that offset center. We're also going to go ahead and fill all 4 fuel tanks down there just because I can't be bothered to keep track of them nearly as well as I should. You know, go figure. Anyway, we'll get about 2/3 of the way through the node and then go ahead and time warp on out just to take a look at our paths and then set ourselves a little alarm, jump back over to Asteroid, who now has this maneuver that we plotted earlier coming up to make its hopefully what is going to be its final approach onto Ganymede before making the orbital insertion burn. So it's only 200 some odd meters per second, which means we'll have about 2,300 left in the tanks. Alright, and there's ullage, and finally a good light after getting a solid estimate on what the burn will actually be. Really, if our orbital insertion is a kilometer per second or less, I'm going to go ahead and go for it. I've kind of loosely speculated that our orbital speed will be somewhere around 21 to 2200 meters per second, and I estimate that we have about 1600 meters per second in the lander itself. So, I mean, really, the more we can have in the upper stage, or the lower stage, correction stage, the better. Alright, we've got our node plotted for danger close. We'll set an alarm for our SOI transfer, because we can't plot a node, and then jump right back to Artemis, where basically we have almost an encounter. Almost an encounter. So we'll bring out our maneuver node planner and just make some very small dialy adjustments out at our apogee. They don't really come to fruition, but I think we'll go ahead and set ourselves up anyway and just sit here and watch our separation at closest approach. Try to get that number dialed in as best we can. We don't really need a maneuver node. Way out here, the correction will be so small. It's 671 meters, and we're coming up on this approach. Mech Jeb has plotted our node to match velocities. We're looking at something like 127 meters per second, and we're totally going to use the HG3. So let's go ahead and get ourselves spun around, angled on into the node. And we'll start this out early. We'll bring up our engine tab, 2 ignitions remaining. I'd like to use 1 to help push the asteroid with all of our remaining Delta V, if at all possible. But, well, KSP, as per usual, definitely has different plans. No spoilers. Some of you might see it as justice. Anyway, I'm going to turn you over to Old Me for the remainder of the episode for live commentary, plus a very eager infant. Enjoy. Alright. Yeah, no, our engine is totally ullaged, but we have time to kill. We can displace 901 meters per second in a minute 10, so I think we're just going to try to ride this timer down, and why not burn off some of this fuel while we're at it. Yeah, we're like minute 17 out from our node, and still, you know, we're down to 116, almost even meters per second, so, you know, why not? And the fact that this engine still even works is kind of a miracle. So we'll just bump up the time warpiness, try to get this closer to right around 30 seconds or so. 30, 20, yeah, okay. Almost. We'll shoot a little past it, because why not? Ignition! Oh, thank God, that's a good light. HG3 is up and running. And lots of Delta V left in the stage. 1.2 total thrust to weight ratio. We're just going to continue to lay on the thrusters, because why not just put more mass out the back? It's not like we need it anyway. Alright. And... oh, shutdown? What? Oh, engine failure. Oh. Well, that's convenient. Yeah, only about 3.2 some odd meters per second shy. I guess that's a good thing, so we can keep our approach. Yeah, it looks like we'll come within about 212 meters in like 11.5 minutes, more or less. Yeah, alright. Oh, we can probably stop doing that, even though it's not doing anything. Let's go ahead and drain those two. Come on, KSP. Time to cooperate here. Alright. And, oh yeah, these do have fuel tanks in them. And they are empty. Should probably take care of that, but maybe not just yet. Who knows? The other two have fuel. Yeah, okay, good. We'll need a little bit of that for arresting our relative speed, maybe, and keeping this B upper stage oriented correctly during our docking procedure. Huh. Come on, KSB. Jeez. The clippiness. It gets weird. Alright. Oh, it's behind us, isn't it? Yep, there she is. 2.7 kilometers away, so really we're not even within render range. Okay, well, I'm glad it's only going to take 10 minutes and 47 seconds to kind of close that gap. In the meantime, we can lighten our load just a little bit. We'll go ahead and dump the carbon dioxide. Done. The waste. Done. Waste water. Yep, good enough. Dump, dump, dump. And of course, it missed that click, and now we don't have a target anymore, do we, kiddo? Nope, she is really upset about that. And we'll just go ahead and vent all the liquid hydrogen and the liquid oxygen also while we're at it, because, well, we don't have an engine to put it through anymore since our HG3 has failed. Okay, and there's the liquid hydrogen done. This does lighten our load a little bit also, so it'll be a little easier to arrest our velocity. I'm playing with company today, if you can't tell already, and she's being just a little talky. Yeah. You like the rockets, kiddo? Yeah. Good job. Alright. Also playing one-handed, for obvious reasons. So everything today has been a little bit more of a challenge, but a really fun one. Get them started early. And yeah, things will be awesome. I don't know. Alright, we can probably... I'm kind of scared to warp in, because what if it shifts? But it's out of render range, so maybe it won't shift? What do you think, Em? No? Let's see if we can't get it as a target first. I'd like to have that data. Oh, hey, yeah, look at that. Select target. Bingo. Cool beans. Alright, and 2.3. Did it render? Oh, no. I waited too long. Oh. Alright, and closing in. Let's go ahead and kill off this relative speed. Computer to hit retro. Alright, angled in. Oh, kiddo, you're so talky. Alright, and... So, yeah, we're just gonna try to just go ahead and zero it out. We've got a few other small things that we have to do. Namely, detaching from the B upper stage and getting our docking done. all that stuff we vented made this kind of nimble. We actually killed that off pretty quick, but you know, I guess that's what happens when you vent all your fuel. I mean, the Artemis is still fully fueled, obviously, 3,700 meters per second. It'll do on its own if it weren't lugging that habitat around, which obviously will take a big chunk of that. All right, we're about 500 meters out. We've killed our speed. Let's go ahead and get rid of these fairings, get ourselves spun around. Channel 1 jettison, jettison. All right, Artemis is free, set as target. And now we can try to do a one-handed docking. Let's unlock the fuel in the command pod so that our top thrusters can fire. That would be super useful. Really wish I had put some aerosine and nitrogen tetroxide in those top two little gold ball fuel tanks. Alright, so since I can do this one-handed, I can at best do like 2 axes at a time. Uh-huh. Alright, and gently, gently. Alright, and yeah, we drifted way off to the side, so oh, come on. Who is telling you to turn that way? Is it you, kid? Alright. And let's try to ease, oh yeah, wow. And to ease it on over. Back it up just a bit. Alright, translate. And of course it's going to fight me. As soon as I let off this control, watch it pivot to the right. Yeah, good job. It's a little overcompensatey. You know, fine. That'll be easy enough to correct, right? One axis at a time, Crash. One axis at a time. Alright, and let's slow some of this out. Oh, and now you're going to undercompensate and still lean to the right? Brilliant. I'd like to blame the SAS assist, but it's totally just my unwillingness to do more than half of a pass with RCS build aid. Go figure. Alright, so let's get our prograde vector on target. Come on, why are you... No one's telling you to turn right. There we go. Alright. Who's telling you to turn right? And angle it in. Okay, oops. A little bit of a nudge. No big deal. Let's back it off. Adjust, adjust. Down just a little bit. And level it out. Bring it in. Anyway, every now and again, I should probably look at the rocket, not just the nav ball. Because, yeah, our angle is a little bit off here. I think we can pivot this in. Uh-huh. And docked. One-handed. Look at that. Who knew? It was actually easier than I thought it would be. Alright. So let's decouple this. Oh, that's the fairing. That's not going to work, is it? Yeah, no. Totally didn't work. Not moving at all. Okay. Let's hit the decoupler. That's why we do these things. And Artemis is free. Sweet. Alright, so we'll just shift ourselves away from the B upper stage. Gently as it may be. No need to rush now. Oh, come on. Where? Oh, man. It's all the way down there. Arm? Excellent. Alright. So, target center... What? Well, that's interesting. Why is the center of mass way the hell over there? Yeah, we're totally not gonna fly that way. That's... target center of mass? Yeah, okay, that's super interesting. Oh, there's another fun glitch for us today. I was wondering, we hadn't had very many hiccups. I mean, not game hiccups anyway. Alright, so let's angle into where the rock appears to us visually and not where it's apparently is way the hell over there, because, I don't know, that just feels wrong. Alright. And we'll get our other 2 solar panels out, make sure we don't accidentally bleed our batteries dry, because that would be absolutely tragic. Alright. And yeah, let's see if we can't reset the targeting. Can we? Yeah, I guess this is as much as zooming in as I can do, so maybe? Oh, yeah, come on. Yes. GCH Adrian target. Bingo. Okay. Looks like that's targeting our docked, clamped, attached vehicle, so that's good. Stage in our service propulsion engine so we can have a gimbal. Lots of life support there. That's the tab I'm looking for. 319 days endurance based on supplies that we have now. Good. That gives them plenty of time to stay on station, do lots of interesting research. All the science. I mean, hopefully they'll get all the science collected well within that margin. We can leave a full reserve of life support attached when we bring Artemis home. The habitat, of course, will be staying on station for future missions. Maybe a mining crew, because that's a thing. Why not? Alright, and we'll just speed up our approach, because I didn't really want to hit the time warp buttons, because we have a lot of stuff that's very close to the asteroid, and in case it does that temporal shift thing that it likes to do. We'll also top off the fuel tanks inside the habitat modules, because that's conveniently placed, just so we can get a little bit more balance to our spacecraft as far as thrusters versus mass. And we'll just go ahead and ride this sped up footage here on in as we hover beautifully over Australia and try to come in on the daylit side of our asteroidy friend so that we can use our solar panels most effectively. Alright, 70 meters out, 1.6 meters per second relative. I think we're coming in nice and close. Just want to make sure we're not going to clip this thing. Let's go ahead and start to brake. We're almost to the side that I would like to be. Maybe a little further around so that we can get these panels nice and direct in sunlight. Okay. 0.2, 0.1. Ooh, yeah. We almost clipped off the solar panel. I blame my co-pilot. She's a little inexperienced at these things, but she's learning very quickly. Alright, and let's go ahead and get ourselves angled in. And go ahead and try to make this clamping maneuver. I don't really know. Docking doesn't seem like the right word. Clamping seems also wrong. Alright, let's zero out our spin. I know it's not exactly ideal, our angle to the sun, but I think 3 solar panels well exposed should power this craft without any issue. It was built to support a much larger infrastructure after all. Alright, and let's make sure we're coming at it good and straight. We'll roll a little bit, maybe we can get a little bit more optimal facing on our panels, but not exactly my concern at the moment. Alright, yeah, 0.2 meters per second relative. Alright, Jaeger. Easy now. Bring it on home. Oh, there's a bounce. Grab is no good. Clamp is docking. Alright. Someone please tell me the correct way to refer to this, because It's gonna get real awkward. Alright, let's angle back in, get rid of our relative speed, and try again. Yep. Come on, Jaeger. KSP hiccups, and... oh, another bounce. Can we force it? Oh, okay. Huh, it's knocking us to the side like we're hitting it at an angle? Maybe that's the issue? Oh boy. That was, that bounce is pretty good. Alright, back it off. Okay, yeah, we are at quite an angle. Let's go ahead and reposition ourselves. This going through the center of mass is just not going to be a thing. Not that it matters. I don't think we should attach a an engine module or anything through a docking port that connects to the habitat. Alright, and 0.4, we'll just go ahead and try to really hit this one home. Oh! Nope, 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 nope. Bring it back. Do not scrape off a solar panel, Jaeger. Back it off. Come on, really? We know this thing works. We tested it. It worked fine in testing. Alright. Get everything zeroed out. Get pointed straight. Totally not even pointed straight. Yeah, control from here and disarm. Let's control from here. There's no, like, unlock pivot, I guess. Target center of mass. Oh, it worked that time. That's interesting. Alright. Well, let's, aim down through the center of mass, I guess, ignoring surface features entirely. Hey! Alright. Yeah, attached. Attached might be the right word. Brilliant. Alright, let's inflate our habitats. Now the crew can move around, stretch their legs a little bit. Oh, there's still some leftover fuel in this thing. And then the little stuff, of course. Awesome. Whew. Well, I'm very sorry that has taken entirely too long to do, but I guess I should just assume from here on out that they're all going to take a very long time to do. Bringing stuff to this rock is highly inconvenient. Crew report? Yep, just from space above Earth's water. So I guess next time we'll have our crew get out and actually start building their sciencey rig stuff and performing some experiments and learning as much as we can about this asteroid and where it came from and the origins of the solar system. In the meantime, let's just try to get a good screeny. Oh, that's pretty cool. Nice. Alright. That's going to do it for this episode, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see all of you in the next one. So until then, see you later.